So today we're gonna, in real time, we're gonna do a taper, and I'm gonna show you guys different levels and guidelines and how to fade those out. I get people that ask me all the time how to fade a beard, how to fade this, how to fade this. What this video is gonna do is give you a system in which you can apply to any situation, whether you're trying to fade yourself at home or not. So if you see here, he has this little area here that's light. We're not gonna go into that. We're not gonna, typically, and it would depend on the person, I might take this higher just to eliminate this totally. But seeing how I know this part's gonna be faded pretty low, I think that I can get away with blending this up with the clipper open. So now I'm just gonna go on with setting my guidelines. I'm gonna start with the lever open here, and we're gonna create a 1-inch guideline. And that's very simple. Next, I'm gonna take my I'm gonna switch to the blades. In this video, I'm gonna use a combination of blades and guards. So I'm gonna use my 1.5 blade, and we're gonna create another 1-inch guideline above that. And there you see, so you can see all the levels. So you can see from skin, open, to 1.5 through here. So now now that I created these lines, I'm going to fade them all out. And of course, I'm gonna blend this out as well to where that blends in smoothly. So now with the adjustables, I'm gonna close the lever halfway, and I'm gonna go up about 3/4 of the way into that 1-inch guideline. All right, so now I'm gonna close the lever to where it's about 1/4 of the way open, and I'm gonna go up about halfway into that, right underneath where I just left off. So now I'm gonna fully close this lever, and I'm gonna use the corner. Before I was using the entire blade, but now I'm gonna use the corner and just lightly hit some of these areas. Now you'll probably notice that it looks pretty blended, but when you have a system, you have to stick to the system totally. You have to go through your system. Don't ignore, try and skip any steps because you feel that you may see it that is necessary. You want to go back and go through all of your steps. So the next step, now that that line here is blended out, as you can see, and here's one thing, you want to make sure this is nice and clean before you proceed, because what's going to happen is as you proceed, it's going to expose more flaws if you didn't do this correctly. So now I'm going to put on a wall half guard. If you're using Andis clippers, you could use a 0, and the lever is open. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the same process as I did down here, but up here. So I'm gonna go 3/4 of the way up with the lever open. You can probably see that line lightened up already. You can see that there's no distinct hard line as there was before. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop there. So I'm gonna go halfway, just like I did with the lever open area. I'm gonna go halfway, and I'm gonna go halfway into this guideline. Just going right underneath where I just left off. And I'm just going straight up. I'm not digging into the head. I'm just going straight up with this. If you feel comfortable or more comfortable using the C motion, you can do that. This is just how I prefer to do it. But if you do choose to do what I do, just make sure you do not dig. So now I'm gonna close this lever, which it will be a full half, and if you have Andis clippers, it will be a 0. So I'm gonna go right underneath to where the line originally was. So as you see, nice and easy. I'm not going up too high because it's unnecessary. This is just me going through the steps. And as you can see, that area has been faded out. So now I have to connect this little short hair to this long hair. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my 3 blade and I'm gonna create another guideline up through here with the 3.5. This is a 3.5 blade if you're curious. And I'm gonna go up 1 inch again. And I'm just going straight up. So as you see, you may not have seen much. There wasn't much hair that came off, but now I'm gonna put on the 2 blade, and what you're gonna be able to see is more of this hair start to blend into each other. You're gonna see the gap close with this blade. And again, I'm just going straight up. And you can see there, looking pretty good. Looks pretty good, but there's a slight dark area through here. I don't know if you guys can see that. And this is where details matter and having a good barber's eye. But more importantly, following the steps. There's a 3-step process to each level. You create it open, you close your lever halfway to lighten it, and then you close it to finish it. So it's a 3-step process. Open, half, close. The level I went up above, I created with the 1.5, step 1, step 2 with the half open, and then you can close it. You can work in that order if you choose to. I just choose to be more detailed to get more of a precise blend. But this was the 3.5, 2. Now I'm coming back with the 1.5 to smoothen this little area through here out. And I'm using a lot of the corners because there's not much work that needs to be done. So just know, whenever you get to the portion where it's time to actually take the line out or remove a line, you want to use the corners. Do not use the entire blade, because that's how you'll get yourself in trouble. You'll raise the line and you'll find yourself having to do more work than you anticipated. So to keep things easy for you guys, just use the corners. So with this 1.5, for the most part, I'm using most of the corners. In some parts, I'm using the entire blade, but that's just only because that's my experience. I would recommend a novice or beginner to only use the corners. So as you see there, his neck taper is done. So now the next phase here, the only natural progression is to put a line on this and then take a look at the finished product. So let me put a line on this and you'll see the finished product. So this is the taper. I went ahead and put a line on each side, very conservative, nice and clean. Nothing outrageous. I didn't push them in too far, just nice and natural. Clean taper from 0 all the way up to, this is about a 2.5 or 2 to a 3.5 blade. And you can see the blend is nice and smooth. Hopefully this helps anyone that has problems with tapers, but this formula, you can use this on a ball fade, whether it's a high, mid, low, or drop, or you can use this to fade your beard. Hopefully these steps helped. Leave a like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.